It's a Trev Stone show, you need a veteran, a pro whose head is in the know. Reppin' Michigan cold, up a peninsula bruh, but worldwide listeners, 1 million views on the internet on Pro Sports Extra. Dishing it with the ghost who's interviewing us 12 years old. That's how I lead it is, chat with comedians, athletes at a genius. News so fast it's immediate, way past intermediate. Podcast you're needing it, facts to computer shit. That's what the future is, guests are about cash, entrepreneur shit. Moving on the music jam. And the hottest Instagram models, you can view the gram. Get the inner insight of those that had their wins right. Get a higher view through a window like it's in flight. You desire for the truth, entertainment trends right. So it's time to start the show and get the insight.
Alright guys, welcome to episode 4 of the Trev Stone Show. We're back with this episode and we have on our co-host Nick again. We have special guest Stefan Logan. This is the probably 100th time I've interviewed him. I've interviewed him since he basically got into the NFL. He played his way into the CFL. He's an awesome guest.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to hear his story and learn about his career. He just stopped playing about a couple months ago. He's, 38, right. 39 now? So
and he's already working his way into coaching, so that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So, this episode is with Stefan Logan, former Detroit Lion, BCU Lion, played in the CFL. He's coaching now. If you enjoy this episode, be sure to like, rate, and subscribe. Check it out. So we'll just jump into questions here in a second.
Got it.
All right, perfect. You guys ready?
Yeah.
By the way, Stefan, this is like Nick's first time like really interviewing anyone.
So go easy on me.
Yeah,
hey, well, you in with a good one, so you good.
All right.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, let's welcome on our guest tonight, Stefan Logan. All right, Stefan, my first question. All right, so you've been playing football for like ever, it seems like. Are you officially done?
Yeah, man. I'm officially done, man.
See, I remember you saying that you hopped on my podcast last year and you said you were done.
Hey, well, I'm done now, man. I even got a coaching job in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
At a Division II school, so that let me know that I'm done now. I mean, I had a good run, man. I played a long time. I played great football, so kind of hanging the cleats up, man, and started a new journey.
Right. So, how are you holding up during this quarantine? You know, this coronavirus shit is crazy, man. How are you holding up, and where are you at? What are the rules like?
I'm in Miami, Florida right now. I'm at home. I'm in my garage right now. I mean, I'm kind of doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. I'm staying in the house, washing my hands, doing everything I need to do. Me, the wife, and the kids. We're trying to do everything we need to do to stay safe. You know, I know everybody saying stay in the house, but man, it's hard to sit in the house 24/7, man, and not, able to go outside, do things. But we holding up. It ain't too bad, man.
It's easier to stay inside when you're in Michigan, I tell you that much. That's a lot easier.
Hey, y'all still getting some cold weather over there.
It's snowing right now.
Right.
And it's actually melting right now.
Yeah. But we got, since the coronavirus started, we've had, it rained today. We had 2 days of rain, and we've been having the average of 84
Damn.
up to the highest was 94.
So you guys are like opening the beaches back up and stuff, hey? I'm pretty sure I read that today.
I saw that today, but that's gonna be some foolishness.
That's a little too much.
That beach. Mm-hmm. I'm not. I mean, I got a boat. I'm not even taking it out there because the virus is still out there, and I'm not. I'm not gonna go out there and get sick. So if they want to go out there and just because they want to rush and get out the house and go join the fun, you go ahead.
Yeah, you go out there and join the fun, but I'm sticking in my yard and I'm gonna chill by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. So first, seeing we're starting this off, I want to say thank you, one, for jumping on tonight, but two, for really you kind of started my career in sports, because you were literally the first person that ever followed me on Twitter. I was I was 13 years old. Now I'm almost 22. I might have been 12 actually, not even supposed to be on Twitter. I was 12 or 13. You, and then Nate Burleson was the second person, and then you were my first guest on. So thank you, like from the bottom of my heart, because I honestly don't know if I'd be doing this today. You know what I mean? Honestly, I've been doing this for how many years already, and I'm gonna keep doing it. We're building a pretty big website, and I appreciate you for jumpstarting that.
Hey man, I appreciate you for having me on, man. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, some people you got to start from the bottom. You got to start from somewhere, and you did. And now you up and running now. So hey, ain't no turning back, as I always say.
Hell yeah, man. So I asked you if you're done playing, you're coaching. I'm gonna let Nick ask a couple questions, and then Nate will ask a couple, and then I've got a list too, so they can kind of rotate quick.
Yeah, no, I want to hear about this this coaching job you came up with. This is at Lock Haven University, I think I saw online. How did that come about? How'd you hear about that? How'd you get involved there?
Man, everything right now is word of mouth, man.
Okay.
My college coach in University of South Dakota, Coach Tony Spencer, I contact him and I let him know, like, hey, I'm done playing football. So, if you know anybody that's looking for, whether a GA or intern coach, whatever, to get my feet wet, tell them to bring me in. I'm not really worrying about the pay. I just want to get my feet wet, get myself in the door, to get my name out there, and I'll work from there. And he said, no problem. I got home November. I got a call beginning of January, and I spoke to Coach Kelly. He's the head coach, and he was like, "Hey man, we're looking for some coaches right now." He just got the head coaching job, and I was like, "Hey, he was like, the pay is not going to be great, but at least you can enjoy the atmosphere, the organization, and just to get yourself started, it'll be great for you." So that's how it all got started for me, and Coach gave me my first opportunity. We have our, coaches meetings, and the craziest part is my first coaching meeting. I was sitting in the meeting room when I went all the coaches, and when I heard them kept saying, "Hey coach," I didn't know they were talking to me, because I'm used to being the guy sitting there, and I'm saying, "Hey coach," and I'm like, I'm just sitting there looking at the board. I'm like, he's like, "Hey coach, he's talking to me," and I was like, "Oh, you talking to me?" He was like, "Yeah." Because me just finishing football, I kind of bring in some new ideas and the way these young boys think now with the professional game right now. So, it's been fun so far.
Oh, cool. Do you get to do any recruiting or anything like that?
Yeah, I was just about to start my recruiting process,
but
the quarantine hit. The coronavirus hit, so it kind of put everybody on the back right now, at the back door right now, trying to figure everything out. So right now, the recruiting process is slowed down right now because everybody's trying to figure out how we're going to do the recruiting process. So,
sure.
They kind of filling me in with everything, because like I said, I'm new to this, but as far as the coaching aspect of it, I'm not new to it, because I've been coaching, to be honest with you, since I've been in Montreal, and I got to Montreal in Canada in 2015. I've been helping with the GM and the coaches. I've been helping coach those guys since I've been there. So it's been easy for me.
Perfect. So let's bring it back a little bit. We're talking about your coaching. Let's bring it back to the playing days, right? I know you spent a little bit of time with the Dolphins to start your career off, and then you went over to Pittsburgh, spent some time there, and then you ended up in Detroit. All three of us are Lions fans in here, so we're going to stick on that for a little bit. Jim Schwartz, what was it like with him? Was he a hard-nosed guy? And second off, so there's this big thing going around about Matt Patricia and how a lot of big things going around about him, but one about how he took a ping pong table out of the locker room. Was that ping pong table in there back when you guys were in there?
No, that ping pong table wasn't there when I was there. No,
I didn't believe that either.
We had a ping pong table when I was in Pittsburgh. We didn't have one when I was in.
Not in Detroit.
Yeah.
No.
What's your opinion on everything going on with Detroit right now? Because you got to be kind of looking back and being like looking at things left and right, and like you got players like Slay coming out and talking a bunch of crap about Patricia, and then you got other players coming out that have played with Patricia before in New England that have won Super Bowls, and we're talking about Detroit and Super Bowls. That doesn't sound like anything that's ever happened and probably won't happen for a while. So what's your opinion on all that? Do you think Slay is like in the wrong here for coming out and talking so much, or?
Well, I read the story on Slay, and me playing, I'm gonna kind of side with the players a little bit because
Yeah.
I always feel that a coach can't talk to you like that.
Yeah.
He can't say what he said to a grown man that's been productive in his league, that's been, Pro Bowler, that's been he's one of the top 5 DBs in this league. He's one of the leaders, one of the captains on your defense and on your team. And for you to talk down to him like that, especially use those kind of words you was using. I mean, I read the story. I mean, I saw
Right.
it. And I seen one guy that comment on it. I guess he was one of the players. He was like, man, coach couldn't have said that to me. And when I looked at that interview, I mean, when I read the comment, I knew right then. I said to myself, I said, me and Matt Patricia would have been fighting. Like, I would have rushed him. I would have went at him because I'm a man at the end of the day, and I'm not gonna let you talk to me like that. I got kids, I got a wife and everything. I'm not gonna let you talk
it's not
to me
high
like
school football anymore.
No, it's not like that. And you got players that's making more than the coaches, and you're gonna talk
Way
to me
more.
like that? Nah, that wouldn't happen. So, I mean, Slay got a right to speak his mind right now, and Matt Patricia, he might have to humble himself, and apologize to his team, apologize to the media, to the organization for talking like that, because now your players are jumping off the boat. They're not trying to paddle with you no more. They're trying to jump ship.
Yeah, it's not like the first 2 years we're winning it all. So
right, and and that's how things get started with a bad rep, and then you make the organization look bad. I mean, playing in Detroit, I had fun playing in Detroit. Despite we weren't winning a whole lot of games, I like playing in Detroit. I had fun in the city. I mean, I know the city was going through that
tough times for sure.
That tough times when I was there, but we still had fun. I mean, the fans were good to us. But I mean, Patricia, he can't talk like that, man. I mean, that was just rude. And I just feel like, you got to own up to it. If you feel like you was wrong as a man, it's hard for us to say sorry. So you got to own up to it and say, look, man, hey, I'm going to call out in front of my team, man. I apologize for saying what I said. I was just a little heated at the time. My thoughts was, I couldn't gather my thoughts. Say something so the guys can know, like, okay, he's genuine. He didn't mean what he said. But if you're not going to do that, guys going to jump ship. And just to mention about Jim Schwartz, I personally, I didn't mind Jim as a head coach.
Yeah.
But I think he was just missing a little bit because he was new. He's always been a great defensive coordinator, but he was just a new head coach, and he was still trying to feel his players out. He didn't really know how to put his foot down and say, hey, I'm the head coach. Y'all gonna follow my rules. Y'all gonna follow what I say. And that's kind of like what we look up for anywhere. But he didn't have that leader mentality. But as a defensive coordinator, as you can see him with the Eagles, even with a bad defensive secondary, he still made them look good. He still did what he needed to do. They went to the playoffs and everything else. But I think his next go around, because I read that a couple of people are interviewing him for another head coach job, I really think he's going to be a nice head coach the second time around. Not the first time, but the second time around. I think he's going to be a nice head coach.
Were you?
All right, you go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I just wanted to ask, were you on the team when Schwartz chased down Harbaugh?
I was literally just going to ask that. But did you steal that out of my brain or something, bro? Because that was my next question.
Well, I think that was 2010. Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. That was my first year.
Okay.
That was my first year in Detroit.
Yeah.
What were you doing? Were you about to start scrapping?
The game. I think. Well, didn't it happen like during halftime or something?
No, it was after the game. They went up and did a
handshake. He didn't like the way.
He didn't like the
Harbaugh
handshake.
shook his
Kind of
hand.
pushed him and all that. And we didn't see him take off running, and we was kind of, we was walking to the locker room because after the game, we talked to some of the guys on the field that you played with in college, you grew up with. So you kind of like, hey, boy, I was gonna run, all this other stuff. And then you just see the whole crowd just run by us. I was like, what's going on? And then, you see Jim, he running with the coach jeans on, with the coach pants on. I say, oh, Lord. But, that was funny, man. It's funny because after that happened, maybe a few weeks after, we kind of made a little a joke about it. He laughed at it. It was funny, though, but we made a little joke about it. But, yeah, Yeah, I saw that. That was, I mean, I was there. That was funny.
What was the locker room like after that game? Did he even go in there, or was it just like you guys kind of took your stuff off and left?
No, he came in, he spoke, and he told us what happened, why the situation happened, and we all was like, we weren't happy, we had lost the game. So all right, that's two coaches, y'all got into it just like two players get into it. So we wasn't really tripping about it. We just knew that it was funny, and it was on ESPN every day for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So so that was a good laugh. We got a good laugh out of that. But at the same time, that right there showed a little bit of his character.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. He just felt like he said, as a man, when I walk to you as a man, I want you to shake my hand. Don't shove me off. And
Right.
I was cool with that. I was like, all right, sure, cool,
Yeah.
I feel you. But you just can't do it like that, man. And it's crazy, man. But yeah, I was there. That was funny, man. We talked about that in wide receiver meeting. We joked, we laughed about it. We made fun of it because Sean Jefferson was the wide receivers coach,
Yeah.
and Nate, Calvin, Titus wasn't there yet. Stover, all of us, we all joked about it. It was funny, man. We laughed about that.
For sure. You were there at the start of Stafford's career. What was Stafford like those early days? Was he a leader right away in that locker room?
He came in 2009.
Yeah. Okay.
And I came in 2007. So when I got to Detroit, it was 2010. So he was still a rookie. And he didn't have that leadership role right away. He wasn't ready for that platform.
Yeah.
He at Georgia, he was the man. When he got to Detroit, you got to remember, most of these guys that made this squad was the man on their teams, no matter what school they went to, whether it's a big Division I or smaller Division I, Division II, Division I AA. It didn't really matter. So he didn't really have a leadership role, down pat yet. He didn't know how to take over offense or take over the locker room, take over the meetings. He was still wet behind the ears. But as the years went on, you can see that he started to progress as into being a leader. Like taking over the huddle when he came in, like in 2011 and 2012. Then you can kind of see it. He like come to the huddle. All right, guys, let's go. Hey man, you got to make that catch. Hey, run this route at such and such. Then you seen him becoming a leader as a top quarterback, as you would say. But it's just he just ain't getting those wins. He's not having that winning season like he wanted, and it don't matter how many passes he throws. He can throw for 5,000 yards. He can break 4 or 5 records. So he's like, look, if you ain't making it to the playoffs, none of that matters.
Right.
So, my first 2 years, he wasn't there yet, but he came around.
So that first year, was that year when you guys had that win against the Browns? When Stafford got hurt?
That was the year before he got. That was
Stafford's
rookie year. Yeah.
Okay. But
I was like,
no.
Nick, you got some more you want to fire with?
I do, but I'll let Nate go.
I got one. There has been a lot of rumors and news speculations that they would like to see Matthew Stafford get traded out of Detroit. Do you think it could happen sooner or later?
I really think it's time, because sometimes you just need a change, and nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. And I mean, he's been a good quarterback. I can't say he's been great, but he's been a good quarterback. He's been a solid quarterback, and I think he would do great in another franchise. I think another organization would pick him up, and they
Patriots?
can build. Yeah, the Patriots can do. You know what? Let me back up. Some schemes that you get yourself in. Some schemes, like the Patriots have a scheme. They have a system.
Yeah.
Sorry, not a scheme, system. And they system, anybody you put in it will work. So you can see all the receivers that Tom Brady had. You got Tom Brady and Belichick. They was there for 20 years, 19, 20 years together.
Yeah.
And they had a system. And anybody they put in that system looked good. It didn't matter who it was. So Matthew, I really think it's time for him to make a change. And I know you've been in Detroit for the last 10, 11 years. I get it. But it's time, for you to just say, you know what? I need a new opportunity somewhere else. That's gonna push you because now you got fresh guys, fresh locker room, fresh coaching staff, people you don't know that don't know you, they just know of you.
Right.
The city don't know you, they just know of you. And you can go out there and be productive. So now it's gonna bring a whole new mentality to you now because now you gotta really focus and say, okay, am I that guy? Am I that dude? Like, do I want to be the next, you know, you can't say Tom Brady because he got so many Super Bowls, but do you want to be the next, Dan Marino that never won a Super Bowl, that never made it all the way. You threw a whole lot
Right.
of passing yards, but you never made it over that hump.
Yeah.
And you got a couple of quarterbacks like that, but you don't want to be that guy. But I think it's time, to be honest with you. I think it's time they should trade him, let him go somewhere else, let them get that big contract that he already got, and let them take over and see what he's gonna do somewhere else. I think it's fine. I'm cool. I'd be up for it if they trade him.
Obviously, we've seen the XFL is basically like folding now because the coronavirus, which really sucks because it seemed like the stands were packed. Play the games were pretty entertaining actually, and you played in the CFL. What would an opportunity be like? For this league, the XFL or like the AAF that folded? Do you think a league like that could work?
Man, I thought personally, I watched every game when
Me
the
too.
AFL started.
Yeah.
I mean, with AFL, X, or whatever it was. It seemed like it's been that long, but we losing track of days, time, and everything
Yeah.
else. But I actually watched every game, and like you said, it was very entertaining, and you got a chance to see a whole new group of guys that was in the NFL that had a chance to build and get stronger as time went on. And when
Yeah.
they came to that league, they looked good, and I saw uh, quite a few guys that can sign back to the NFL to NFL teams. So I'm upset that it didn't make it. Because of this virus. This virus has screwed a lot of people.
Everything. This
And
entire year's been fucked.
Yeah.
it's been 2020 so far has been man. But I know it can turn around. But right now, the beginning of 2020 has been rough. But just to get back to what we were talking about, I really thought that league was going to take over
Yeah.
and give Canada. I ain't gonna say NFL because NFL that's a $1 billion organization. It's hard to get them some competition. You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
It's too much money. I thought it was a battle between Canada and XFL,
Yeah.
right? I can't even. Yeah, XFL. I thought it was going to be a battle between those two, but now, as you can see, that's not going to happen. It might come back in another 2, 3 years because the ratings was up, like going it was up and down, it's like fluctuating. But I liked it, man. I thought it was pretty good. It's a lot of football to watch.
Yeah.
Going from you got summer, spring, and fall. You got a whole lot of football to watch.
Yeah.
Soon as Canada start, then NFL start. As soon as NFL ends, XFL starts. So it's like, ooh, that's a lot of football to watch.
Yeah. So I can't lie. I've only watched a handful of CFL games. What are the stands like there? Is it packed like the XFL games were?
Yeah, it was actually more than XFL
More.
because it was more because CFL has been around for 100
Yeah.
I think 107, 108 Grey Cups or whatever.
Oh wow.
And the fans, they out there. The fans, it was more than the XFL because the XFL was just starting. So we always had a pretty good crowd. You getting, between, I would say between 18 to 20, I would say about 27, 28,000 people at a game. And that's not
Oh, wow.
bad for,
Yeah.
that's a place that don't have, 32 teams. They only got 9 teams over there. So they only got 10 provinces over there. So that wasn't bad for a 9-team league.
I have a question. I was listening to the show you did with Trev last year. You were saying you could still run a 4.40s in your late 30s. What was your fastest 40 time ever?
My fastest 40 time ever was it was in a dome on a track with tennis shoes on. I ran a 4.33.
Okay.
I didn't count. I didn't count. I didn't count.
Yeah.
I didn't count it because I was like, man, that I'm not gonna have on tennis shoes on a football field.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be indoors on a turf on track. So I didn't count it. The time that I counted was I ran 4.37 at the University of Miami Pro Day that they invited me to. I ran that on grass with cleats on. That's like the time that I count because I ran it on grass with cleats.
Yeah.
So the fastest time was a 4.33, and then like my slowest time that I ran ever getting clock was like a 4.41, and that was because I didn't have like my start wasn't the best, but I was kind of made up for it. But
yeah,
you know, I just know I could run.
So I know you have an interesting story. I can't remember if it's after high school or if it's how was I going to say that? Before college or before the pros, you took like a couple years off before continue playing. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Oh, that was before I even went pro. I mean, it's before everything even got started, man. I sat out 3 years before I went to college. You know, just trying to find my way. It was just, it was really frustrating time in my life. You know, not knowing what to do. You know, working at a grocery store, making like at that time, then my wage was like $6. Wasn't making no money.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a bad time for me, man. You know, it was kind of like you in a dark cloud was over my head every day. Not that I wanted to go and hurt myself or do anything. It was just I was just stuck in a place to where I couldn't figure out what I was going to do. So them 3 years really taught me a lot on how to manage yourself, how to humble yourself, how to just find ways to do something. You know, it was tough. It was crazy, but I figured it out. And I finally, after sitting out for 3 years, I went to the University of South Dakota, and that was the best decision I could ever make.
How does it's crazy just looking back on you and like the start of your career. What are you, 5'6"?
Yes, sir.
Just saying that, and making the league is just crazy when you think about it. Who do you compare yourself to looking back on your career? What other player, when it comes to maybe someone that's smaller?
Man, I was a Barry Sanders fan. Like, he was like my idol when I was smaller. That's who I wanted to be. Like, that's who I wanted to. Like, everything he did, I wanted to do. And when I went to Detroit, when they signed me, I was so looking forward to meeting him because that was my idol. Like, that was somebody that I looked up to when I watched the game. Him and Jerry Rice. I knew I wasn't going to be a receiver, but I knew as a running back, like, I took my game was like, I wanted to have every spin image of Barry. Like, I wasn't going to have them big legs like he did, but I knew, like, the quicks, the shakes, the speed, just the mentality that mindset he had. That was me. So, that was somebody that I always said I wanted. Only thing I didn't want that number. I didn't want 20. I wanted everything else, but I just didn't want 20. I ain't as a smaller guy, I just didn't want a double digit number. I always want single digit number. But my idol was Barry Sanders, man. He was just one of the running backs, man. You just love to watch every Sunday.
Yeah, you were one of the most electric returners probably in NFL history in those couple of years with Detroit. Honestly, man, every time you touched the ball, I was like, all right, chance this might go to the end zone. Yeah, honestly, dude, you were so shifty. It's crazy when you look back on everything, like how shifty you were.
Yeah. I sometimes I sit down and I watch some of the clips of when I was in college, and then I go back and watch the when I was in the pros. I was like, man, boy, I was moving, boy. I would never downplay myself. Like, I don't care if if you're not confident about what you're doing, if you're not confident in yourself, then you're gonna be below average. I was never cocky. I was always confident in what I was doing. I was confident in what I say. So and I look at it like that. Like, some people, they just cocky. You look at like this arrogant prick. Oh, he cocky as I don't know. It's kind of like if you watch, I follow Deion Sanders and I follow Shannon Sharp. If you kind of watch them, it's almost like they all about themselves. Like, always Deion Sanders prime 21. It's all. He's not cocky. He's just who he is. He's like, look, I made it. I did this. He talk about his family. You know, he's a family man, and he speaks facts, and that's what I like about him. That's the same thing with Shannon. He speaks facts. You know, me and Nate Burleson, we still good friends till this day. I still go and visit him every year in New York. I just talked to him yesterday. He's in Arizona or something like that for this coronavirus. He speaks facts, and Nate is all. He's not about. He's just about having fun.
Besides his looks, you can tell he's trying to make sure he's always looking fresh.
Oh man.
It seems like that guy, he's got on like $5,000 suits to do like ESPN. It's like, damn.
That's him though. Like when I first met Nate, he told me, he said, I don't like cars. I don't care about all the cars, which I know this because I'm at his house. I see the cars that they have. He's like, I've never been in a car. I care nothing about that. I'm into fashion. I'm into jewelry, and that's him. He loves it. So, you know, that's what he's all about, man. I mean, and he's for a guy that has a whole lot of money. And I told him this. I actually told his wife the same thing. I said, for a guy that has a whole lot of money, you are the most humble, rich dude I ever met.
Yeah, he's so humble. He'll save a pizza to end a season.
You feel me? To save it, the end career ain't gonna save a pizza.
Yeah.
What was that like? All right, you had to have been giving him so much shit after that, man. After you hear that he gets in an accident, tries saving a pizza. What, does he break his arm?
Yeah, he broke his forearm.
But he got free pizza for like a year or something.
What year was that when that happened?
I can't.
Was that
12 or 13. Yeah, it was 12 or 13.
13, because I remember when it happened. Oh no, it was 13 because I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And I called him and I was like, bro, what happened? And he was like, man, he was all drugged up from the medicine. He was like, man, I was trying. He said a pizza fell and I was trying to grab it and I ended up hitting the steering wheel with my leg and everything. I said, oh my goodness.
That was supposed to be a big year for the Lions too.
Yeah, he ended up getting hurt, man. I was like, I say, dude, you couldn't just wait, man. The pizza it was already on the floor. You know, at least slow down first, but yeah, I give him a hard time about it, man. But he's good, man. He's living his dream. He's enjoying himself, man. I'm happy for him. I tell him that all the time. I say, I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah.
Obviously, you spent a while in the CFL as well. What was the difference besides the pay, obviously, from the NFL and the CFL?
I would say just that. The pay. You know, it's a $1 billion organization versus a few $1 million organization. I mean, for you to buy a Canadian team, I mean, it costs you roughly around like 20 to 35 million. That's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
But as far as the talent, you know, it's not a big gap for the talent. Yeah. It's still some talented guys up there in Canada. Yeah, you got some guys that can play. The thing is, those guys in Canada, they get into not complacent, but they comfortable. So they don't have to worry about running here, running there, worrying about this and all the politics and stuff like that. They get comfortable and they say, look, I'm making some decent money here. I'll go back home for a few months. I'm going to come right back up here. Some guys actually move up there so they can save more money. And they just say, hey, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be comfortable and I'm going to just play football here for the next 10, 12 years and retire. NFL is it's first of all, both leagues are hard to get in. They're hard to stay in. And it's so much now NFL has turned to like baseball. It's almost like a business. It's all about who's gonna get paid the most. It ain't about the talent no more. It ain't about his attitude or his, play on the field or how is he in the locker room. It's all about, and we're gonna Aaron Rodgers has got 130 million. Okay, we're gonna give Matthew Stafford 131, or we're gonna give Tom Brady 132.
Right.
It's all now it's like it's about who getting paid the most. And that's it ain't about that, man. It's who can play and who can't.
Yeah. It's about the love of the game when it comes down to it. Should be anyway.
It's the love of the game. If you ain't got no love for the game, then you ain't gonna make it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Right.
I got another question. Now, let's say you couldn't play football for whatever reason throughout your career. What other pro sport would you be most interested in playing, I guess? Like if you had to make a living playing a different sport besides football, what would it be?
Is race car, is that a sport?
Yeah. Yeah, racing's a sport, I guess. Yeah, NASCAR.
I wanted to be a NHRA drag racing. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm all about that speed, man. I love it, man. It's just something in me. Like I actually go to I went last year to the NHRA in Gainesville. Went up there to that, had a great time, and if we didn't have all this other stuff going on with this virus, I'd be going to one this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to be a NHRA driver.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Seeing we're all in quarantine, have you been watching Netflix or anything?
Oh man, I'm tired of watching Netflix.
Hey, did you watch Tiger King?
Oh man, don't let me get started on Tiger King.
Joe Exotic or Carol Baskins?
Y'all can't do Joe Exotic like that, man. Y'all can't do Joe like that. Carol Baskins, man. Look here, I don't
Fuck
even know
Carol Baskins.
But I tell you this, Joe Exotic is the man, man.
He is the man.
Doc had his little thing going on, but I'm gonna tell you this: that boy Jeff, the one that robbed Joe,
Yeah.
he going to jail too. He going to jail. He's a crook.
There's some. I don't know. Everyone in that show kind of seemed a little crazy.
They did, but they put Joe in jail for 80 years for killing five tigers or whatever it is.
And you can't tell me those tigers weren't sick. Those tigers had to have been sick, dude. Because this guy has so many fucking animals, right? Why is he gonna kill just a couple of tigers? Either they're getting towards the end of their life, or else they're pieces of shit tigers, right? Like you gotta either do something with them. You ain't gonna what are you gonna do? Let them go?
You can't do. You got. It's just like when you put a dog down. If he bites somebody and they say, "Okay, we got to put the dog to sleep," okay, it's the same thing. He just did it a little more vicious. He just killed them and fed them or whatever to the other animals. But Carol Baskins was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Doc was doing the same thing. Jeff, he was lying and he was doing the same thing. And I don't understand how could y'all give this man. I mean, y'all tried to get him on this. Murder. Well,
$3,000. If you know anybody who's gonna murder somebody for $3,000, all right, that's pretty crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So they just did Joe wrong, man. And it's funny because a lot of people that I've seen, because I guess a lot of people started watching it, and once they seen it, they started posting all the stuff about Joe. Everybody seems to be on Joe's side.
Yeah, everybody
like Joe. I mean, he was gay, but you don't even think about he was actually gay. But you don't even think about that because you look at him as a person and say, man, he was just a regular human being that loved attention.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. He had all the animals, he had all that stuff. And when you look at Carol, I don't even know Carol Baskins, but I'm on Joe's side. Carol Baskins, first of all, they think she murdered her husband. That's one strike against her. Then she inherited all the millions, and then you cut the wife and the kid, the daughters, out of their share. You gave them like a little bit, and then you gonna take over the farm with the lions and stuff. And I was like, you a crook. Then you get married to this other dude, which he was like you said, he was a douchebag, and you got him sitting right there. He playing alone. He don't want to be with you. He know you a crook. So. I watched it.
I'd see you watched it. That was perfect. That was like a 5-minute.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't watch it, you guys got to go watch it because it's worth watching it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I might have to now after hearing all that.
If you haven't seen Tiger Kings, man, look. If you ain't got nothing else to do within the next month, plenty of time, go watch Tiger Kings, man. Listen. And when you do watch Tiger Kings, for the people that's listening to this podcast and watching, take notes and see how many times Joe say Carol Baskins' name.
Probably at least 5,000.
Oh my! He said that lady name. That's
Carol Baskins. Carol Baskins.
Man, take notes and you'll be like, this dude had to say this lady name for these. I think it's 6 episodes. He said that lady name. I'm telling you, probably 2,000 times.
Yeah. Is there any other shows you watch on Netflix? Did you watch All American at all?
No, I didn't see All American. We started watching The Stranger.
What's that about? I haven't watched that.
I think that's the one with what's his name, Mark Wahlberg. It's like a Netflix original. We started watching that one, but we kind of was dozing in and out. I was like, man, we'll watch it later. What else we watch, man? We done watched so many movies.
Did you watch that Adam Sandler movie? That what is it? Uncut Gems or Hidden Gems or something like that?
Uncut Gems.
Yeah, with KG in it.
With KG, I watched that. I didn't like it. I thought
No?
it was. Another thing, I'm not
The
an Adam
ending's pretty
Sandler
crazy.
fan, but I didn't. Yeah, the ending was crazy, wasn't it? It was. We can't tell the people because they haven't seen it, but the ending was crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. But I didn't like that one.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan. I'm not an Adam Sandler fan.
Well, I haven't really. Adam Sandler hasn't been really producing too good a movie since like that Click or whatever. That was like the last movie that I watched where I was like, that's not too bad.
I didn't like it. It was had too many twists and turns in it, and it didn't make sense. But if you want to go and watch, if you're an Adam Sandler fan, feel free.
Nick, you got some more questions you want to fire away?
No, I don't think so. I think it's been great so far.
Yeah. What else can I ask here? Just what else are you doing during quarantine? You said you're watching Netflix. You're out in Netflix. Are you still working out a lot, or are you just kind of laying back?
Well, I haven't like worked out like I want, but I've been riding my bikes. As you can see, I got my bicycles over here.
Yeah.
I ride my bikes, and man, that's pretty much. Man, just to shout this out for the people that do know me and the people that might be watching and stuff like that. My dad just passed away this past Thursday.
Oh,
so
wow. Sorry to hear that.
It's all good, man. It's crazy how it happened, but I just been going back and forth to my mom's house, helping out, making sure the bills and stuff is straight. I'll go over there tomorrow. Me and my brother, we gonna bring some fresh air into the house. We're gonna clean it up real good, and but that's pretty much it, man. This during this quarantine time, man, has been crazy, man. But we still fighting strong. But yeah, that's everything that's been happening with me, man. Just I ride my bike, I work out, going back and forth to my parents' house, talk to my kids on FaceTime, stuff like that, man. Trying to keep the house entertained. That's pretty much it, man. Ain't really nothing else you can do.
Yeah. All right. So I just want to see if you will clear the air a little bit. You made headlines earlier this year or last year. You got arrested real quick. Can you just kind of talk about that? I wasn't going to press that on you or anything, but if you want to talk about it quick, go ahead, because
I don't have no problem answering no questions, man. I'm like open book, man. It's crazy, but I can touch on that because it was nothing. I ended up getting arrested because of child support. I was in Canada, and I was in Montreal. And when I was with Montreal, they was taking the money out of my check. So I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't have to worry about it. So when I had got released from Montreal, I came home for like maybe 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So when I got signed with Ottawa, I'm thinking this is what I'm thinking, because this is how most of the time it normally happens. When I got picked up with Ottawa, I thought Montreal was just gonna send over my paperwork to them, because that's how it normally happens. Because when I was with BC and I went to Montreal, they just sent all my paperwork over there. So when I got to Ottawa, I'm thinking, my stuff gonna be over here. Cool. You're not even thinking about it, because like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So then the season was over. And just think about this. Season over. I'm coming home. I get to the border. They was like, hey, you ever had any problems with, your passport or crossing the border? And I'm like, no, sir. He was like, okay. So he told me to, put the car on park and all this other stuff. So I'm like, what's the problem? He was like, I don't know, but they saying that it's a warrant for your arrest. I'm like, a warrant for what? If I knew anything like that, like if I knew that I was behind, I wouldn't even went to the border. I would have waited. I would have took care of that before.
Right. Why would you want to? You would know that you would be getting arrested there.
Right. And if I would have known that, if you just think about it, if I would have known that, I would have waited. I would have paid it, and then I would have waited a few days and made sure it cleared. Then I would have left. Who wants to get arrested at the border knowing you coming across, Canadian?
Especially for child support. It ain't drugs. You're not bringing drugs across.
Man, listen, man, when they had me in the little jail cell, they had me in, and the people was in there. And it's crazy because the guys that I talked to in there, all of them wrote me on, pretty much all of them DM'd me on IG, because they knew when I was in there, I was a positive influence to them.
Yeah.
And they was like, bro, you brought a whole different attitude to me being in there. I just knew you. They was like, man, I knew you didn't belong in there. Like the way you talk, the way you carried yourself, just the way you act when you was in there. Like you didn't seem like a bad dude. And I was like, yeah, I was in there for child support. I said, and the crazy part was the child support had just went into effect a few days before I had went across that border. And you talking about somebody that was so upset. I was like, I'm upset, number one, because my name and my face gonna be on Google. I say now, y'all looking at me, people thinking like, oh, they see what you're doing on Instagram, they see what you're doing on Facebook, and they like, oh, you can do all that, but you're not paying child support. Number one, child support was paid. They was taking care of it, but it was my fault that I didn't keep up with the paperwork. So I blame myself for that. But I got it all straightened out. You know, it wasn't no big deal. I got it all straightened out. It was crazy when it happened, but I got it all straightened out. Though. It's life, man. And I was pissed. I ain't gonna lie. I was very upset. But what can I do, man? The only thing I can do is take care of it, man, and keep on moving.
Yeah. So at first when I heard that, people were coming out on like Facebook groups because I'm in like Lions groups and they were like sharing it.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that maybe it was because the NFL versus CFL pay where like maybe you couldn't afford the child support or something. So that's not the case.
No.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, I'm like Stefan's had to have made enough money where he should have some saved up.
Listen, man. Everybody has their own say. Everybody likes to. One thing I know about people, everybody loves negativity.
Yeah.
Everybody know me. I'm not a negative person. Everybody, even if you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Facebook, anything I do, you always see I got a smile on my face. It don't matter what I'm going through. It don't matter. But people love negativity and they want you to feed into it, and I won't.
Right.
So I know people is gonna say stuff because that's just people. But let me tell you what it is. When you go through something, it's whoever it is, now it's different. Now the shoe is on the other foot. Now you looking at it like, oh, now you want people to feel sorry for you. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me because if I make a mistake, I make a mistake. That's just life. It is what it is. Right. But I always say this. People that work a regular 9 to 5, if you're not the manager, if you're not the CEO, if you're not the supervisor, you're not the president of your company, then how could you really say how good you're doing your job? Right. We don't know that. You probably have been written up 3 or 4 times, but we don't know that. Right. We are in the public. The public eye can see us. They can Google us. They can do all that other stuff. So it'll make it seem like anytime a guy that's or athlete that's in the sports that do something wrong, our stuff get publicized and people see it and they just like, oh, this. They just looking at the caption, they just looking at the comments, and they just saying what he's doing, but they didn't really take the time to really figure out what happened. So I mean, I don't care what people say, man, at all. I don't care what nobody say because everybody
that's how you got to look at it, though, or else you fail, or else it gets too much in your head.
Yeah, and I never let it get to me. I always stay humble, man. I got everything I want. You know, I don't care what nobody say because everybody wants to enjoy the life. Like I'm in Miami, number one. I got cars. I got a house. I got a nice house. You know, I got my own boat. You know, I got my own. I got everything I want. Like my family is good. You know, the kids. I don't have no complaints. You know, besides going through coronavirus, COVID-19, up in the quarantine right now. Other than that, I mean, I have no complaints. And anybody that meet me, they know, like, I'm a genuine dude. Like, I always got a smile on my face, and I always want to see other people happy. Like, that's just it, you know. But yeah, I got all that straight now, man. But for the people, man, trust me. Hey, I take care of my business. I handle it. Don't worry about my pockets. Worry about your own. That's just it.
Boom. All right, I got one more question, and this one's gonna be one more tough one. All right. I think it was your last year in Detroit. You catch the ball on like the 10-yard line on a kickoff. I'm like, finally, Stefan gets a chance to return a kick because it seemed like the past like 3-4 weeks before that you weren't getting any opportunities, right? And then you get an opportunity, you kneel it at like the 10-12-yard line. What was going through your head? Schwartz, they showed him right afterwards. He swore. You know, what was going through your mind and like what happened after that?
Okay. Like I said, I'm an open book, man. I have no problem.
Yeah.
I have no problem.
That's why I asked it. And I was like, all right, before this podcast, I mentioned it to Nick. I was like, maybe I'll bring it up. I've had Stefan on like 10 times, right? Throughout the years. Should I bring it up finally? So I'm glad you're an open book.
man, you good, man. So I was that year. That was probably my worst year playing football because they just put in a new kickoff rule, and now they moved the kickoff up 5 yards. So beginning of that year, I was already having a tough time because I wasn't getting no more kickoffs. Everything was being down in the end zone. So every game I went out there, it was like I'm looking at the ball go over my head. I'm like, man, I ain't getting that. But anyway, fast forward to that game, Saint against Atlanta. We go out there, and when I got my dip, like I count where I'm supposed to be at. So I counted my yards. I'm like, all right, cool. So they know they trying to back us up. So they kick the ball. And when he kicked the ball, it went over my head. So when it went over my head, I ran back to chase it. And when I was running back to chase it, I instantly forgot where I was at on the field. I thought I was in the end zone.
Yeah.
That's why I downed it. So I was like, and I looked, I was like, uh-oh, I done made a mistake. So I come to the sideline. Jim was mad. But see, as I say, I won't be negative with you because I got negative.
Yeah, I remember you walked off and your head wasn't down. I remember that because I remember I was like looking at his body, like his head, he was still keeping his head up.
As you can, if you watch it, you can see that I wasn't even mad because I didn't think I made a mistake. When I saw it, I was like, oh shit, I fucked up. I made a mistake. I thought I was in the end zone. I wasn't. All right. Jim, I can say a whole bunch of stuff about Jim, but there's no need. Why? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna talk. Man, I thought Jim was a good dude. So I came to the sideline, and Jim was like, what? I say, Coach, I forgot what line of scrimmage I was on. I thought I was in the end zone. That's why I knew it. He was like, oh. I was like, all right. So I went and sat down. So Nate came to me. He was like, you good, bro? I was like, yeah, I'm good, bro. I said, I'm good. He was like, all right, I just want to make sure. And we went on by it. It wasn't. I didn't feel no type of way. I didn't lose no sleep over it.
Yeah.
We was already losing the game.
But that's why you're a pro. That's why you were a pro, though. Because you're able to get that stuff by you.
Yeah, like I didn't let it affect me. I that was my last year in Detroit. I still end up leaving after that year. Went to Canada, broke all sorts of records in Canada. So I let nothing like that faze me. Like because things happen. Everybody. Think about this. Every great, whether he's Hall of Fame or soon to be Hall of Fame, has made a mistake in their career.
Yeah.
Played over 7 to 10 years. You're gonna make a mistake. And Tom Brady threw an interception at the end of the game.
Yeah.
The game was over, and that was for him to win.
Yeah. But you fuck up once, and it's like it's a big thing. That's what's tough in a position as like a kick returner, or even like some positions like a tight end or receiver. When you have a ball coming to you in the end zone, you drop it, and then it's like, all right, that might be it. Sometimes, and with the quarterback or some other positions, linemen, you can fuck up a little bit and get by on it.
Right. And I'm gonna give you one quick little story before you go. We was in practice one time, and Calvin came up to me. He said, "Steph," he said, "Bro, I feel so bad that these guys that the coaches don't put you in on offense." He said, "Man, you go so hard in practice." He said, "In the games you trying to do everything. You scratching and clawing for every yard." And he said, "I don't know why they don't put you in on offense." He said, "I don't get it." He said, "You know it." He said, "It ain't that you don't know the plays. You know them." I was like, bro, I don't know. And Scott, and I found out after the fact that Scott Linehan didn't like me very much. Why? I don't know. So Calvin, we sit there, we talking, me, Calvin, and Nate. And Calvin said, the difference between me and you, Steph, he said that they paying me millions of dollars. He said, so if I go out there and make a mistake, I'm not tripping. He said, because what they gonna do, cut me, they gonna bench me? He said, they ain't gonna do nothing. He said, now you on the other hand, you getting like maybe 5 returns a game, and you got to make the best out of every one of them. You can't make a mistake. He said, I can make a mistake after mistake. They're not going to take me out because they paying me millions of dollars. And he said, I hate that it's like that because you can't really enjoy the game like you want because you're too busy worrying about not making a mistake because you don't get
a lot of pressure.
And I was like, man, you couldn't have said it no better. You know what I'm saying? And I always remember that when he told me that, because when you got a guy like that that's making $10 million a year, and he talking to a guy that's making a couple $100,000 a year, I'm like, man, that makes sense. And you going out there, you giving it everything you got. You trying to prove to these coaches they not let you showcase your talent. It's hard. It's tough, and you got to come in every day hoping that the coach give you 1 or 2 plays on offense, which they don't.
Right.
And why, I don't know. But
in the preseason, bro, you got the ball so much, it seemed like, in the preseason, and you made guys miss. You always made the fun. Oh man, it gets me pissed when I think about it. You would always make the first guy miss, and why didn't they ever give you any opportunity as a running back to catch the ball, or as a receiver to catch the ball? Whenever you got in there in the preseason, bro, you were making the ankles break. And you know what? I look at the Lions right now, and they did the same thing with that Brandon Powell. He was with the team, and he was shifty just like you. And they didn't give him an opportunity at all. But in the preseason, he kicked ass. And it's like, sometimes you got to give these guys the opportunity that they deserve. Oh, man, it gets me frustrated. I'm getting worked up.
Don't even get me started, man. Don't trust me. I say this all the time, man. You going in at the NFL, now they looking at is a size. You got to be a certain size to meet the criteria. That's just what it is. The average guy is about 5'9" to 6'7", 6'6".
Yeah.
If you get a guy that's 5'6", man, you might have out of 32 teams, out of all 32 teams is like what 3,200 players or something like that. Out of all those guys, you have 2 guys that's 5'5", one to be 5'6" and one to be 5'7". That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else 5'9" and a half to 6'7". And now it's a criteria. They not. Don't even get me started. But anyway, it's all good, man. I had fun, man. I played 5 years in the NFL. I finished twice on the Pro Bowl ballot behind Joshua Cribbs and Devin Hester. I was Special Teams Player of the Year for the Detroit Lions twice. Yeah. I was Special Teams Player of the Year for Pittsburgh when I was there. So it ain't up. So everywhere I've been, man, I always made a name for myself. It don't matter where I was at, man. It don't matter, man. They'll find you and you make plays. That's how I look at it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. For sure, Stefan, man. I think that's it. This has been about an hour. I actually got another podcast we got to record here in like a half hour or so. So, bro, I appreciate you jumping on as always, man. You're a badass. I appreciate it. I know Nick appreciates it, but bro, it means a lot. All you've done to help me get started through my career and get me to the point where I am.
Yeah, hey, man, I really appreciate you having me on, man. Thank you very much, man. Hey, keep supporting Detroit, man. Do your thing up there, man.
Hell yeah, bro. This will be out on April 24th. It's also my birthday then, so if you can, share it around, please. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Shoot me a message, bro.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
Stefan Logan.
Yeah, boy, easy.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed episode number 4 with Stefan Logan. Obviously, we jumped into a whole bunch of stuff. We talked about why he wouldn't like Matt Patricia if he was still on the Lions right now. Obviously, Stefan spent a whole bunch of time in the NFL, CFL. He's working his way into coaching, so he was an awesome guest. Next episode might even be better, though. We have on from ESPN Sports Science, John Brenkus. So, guys, if you enjoyed this episode with Stefan, be sure to like, rate, subscribe. You can watch if you're listening to this on audio, you can watch it on YouTube if you want to see the video. You can follow me on Twitter at TrevStonePSE, and you can follow Nick as well.
Yep, follow me at NickPSE, NIKPSE on Twitter.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode with Stefan Logan, and here comes episode number 5 with John Brenkus from ESPN Sports Science. Peace.